spot, waiting for your call, but you had someone else in mind. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. Was I just enough to get you through? Breaking my heart, I was a fool for you. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. You were playing me the whole time, telling all your lies to both sides. You were playing me the whole time. No one there to break my fall. Blink of an eye and now you're not mine. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah. Was I just enough to get you through? Breaking my heart, I was a fool for you. All I had was love for you, love for you, yeah, yeah.
Falling away as I'm searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout eyes to the night so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better life, better life than love. We're gonna shout it out to the I reside on cloud nine because of you, baby. But this rush turns serious, and now my knees are shaking. I'm dancing around the edge like I'm too scared to jump in. Tell me where we sink or swim. I'm not trying to hold back, but if this love moves too fast, we go far right off the tracks. Come stay with me. Let's take our time. We're both falling at the speed of light. Don't have to say anything. Trace it with your fingertips. Baby, I can read your lips. Baby, I can read your lips. Trace it with your fingertips. Baby, I can read your lips. Baby, I can read your lips. Trace it with your fingertips. Baby, I can read your lips. Baby, I can read your lips. Trace it with your fingertips. Baby, I can read your lips. Your body speaks and sings to me like a symphony. Beautiful words, I hear every verse. It's all I need. You're giving me the signs, I see it in your eyes, but we don't have to cross the line. Those three words can make or break. Please don't let me run away. I'm sorry, but my heart scares easy. Come stay with me. Let's take our time. We're both falling at the speed of light. Don't have to say anything. Trace it with your fingertips. Baby, I can read your lips. Baby, I can read your lips. Trace it with your fingertips. Baby, I can read your lips. Baby, I can read your lips. Trace it with your fingertips. Baby, I can read your lips.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. How we doing? Welcome to Myles Dyer Live, the weekly show from me, your host, Myles Dyer, where we talk about all sorts from the serious, life hacks, mental health and well-being, world events, to the more light-hearted stuff. Maybe it's movies we've seen, maybe it's having a quiz. I know a quiz will come around sooner or later, especially around Christmas time. And yeah, it's just a cool time to hang out. I want to say a huge thank you to all of you who are tuned in live. But if you're watching on replay, it's good to have you as well. If you comment in the video afterwards, I always love reading the comments at the weekend. So yeah, engage whether you're watching live or on replay. How is everyone doing in the chat? It's good to see lots and lots of people there. How are you all doing? And yeah, today is about the upcoming weekend. That is Black Friday. And it's going to be sort of two halves to the conversation. The first part about Black Friday is going to be yay or nay. Do we think it's good? Do we think it's bad? What are the pros? What are the cons? What do people think about it? And then the latter half is saying, okay, well, regardless of what we think of Black Friday is here. And for me, it's an opportunity. Are there any good deals worth shouting about? I've got a couple that I'm going to talk about. And maybe you have some of your own. And if you haven't got them in your mind so far and you're in the chat, have a quick look online at the moment. And then in about 30 minutes, we'll start going through them. But there are some other things that I want to talk about beforehand. And what I normally do with these shows is I do housekeeping and I kind of reel off a few mini stories and then I just get to the main topic. And I think what I need to start doing now is kind of having multiple topics that build up to the main one of the show. And those small ones can then, have a bit more time. Yeah, where is Mark today? I know, it is weird without Mark. Bless him. So if you want to support the show, like Mark does every week, please consider becoming a member of this channel. Just clicking the join button. It's about $3 a month, and you get a nice icon next to your name. You unlock some emojis, and you get priority in all the comment responses whenever you comment on any of my videos. Will you cover Buy Nothing Day, Myles? I will happily cover that. We will talk about that a little bit later, because there are alternatives to Black Friday, of course. And as Karina says, smash the like button. Please, please do hit the like button. Whether you're watching live or not, it helps out. Really appreciate you joining me today. And I'm also getting used to this new studio format because, as some of you will know from last week, I've moved the camera. I used to have it above my computer and it was like sort of looking down on me, and it meant you could see the floor, which was fine, but you didn't really get to see much of this shelf behind me. But now I've got it eye level, but it does mean that when I'm looking at the camera, I can't really see the screen as much. And I am actually sat to the left side of my computer screen, because if I'm sat in the middle, I'm blocking all this sort of stuff. And so a few nights ago, I actually recorded a video showing my studio and talking through all the things I'm thinking about. Because yes, with Black Friday coming, there are going to be some electronic deals of items that I've wanted all year round that I will be purchasing to upgrade this studio. And I'm on this accelerator program for live streaming pros. It's got a great Discord community. And I just laid down all my thoughts and considerations about this studio. And the feedback's been excellent, primarily from Keely, who I want to give a shout out to, one of the coaches there, who has given me lots and lots to think about. And has also helped me prioritize maybe some of the things I was considering changing, not needing to change. There are other things that can take priorities. So yeah, I'm really excited. And what I'm going to be doing now is saying to myself, look, every week, just improve one aspect of the live show. Not too much pressure. There's a lot I want to do, but if I can just do one thing a week, I think we're going to be in good steps as we enter the new year. And so I'm really, really excited about that. Now we're eye to eye with your handsome self, Myles. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's nice being eye level. I know last week I was a bit lower, because one of the rules is when you're on camera is you want your eyes to be like 2/3. If you can imagine splitting the camera into thirds. So 1/3. Let me just do it with one hand, or else it's going to be 1/3, 2/3. So you want your eyes to be there as a general rule, because sometimes, and I produce webinars and that all the time in the pre-production era, sometimes you have people that are like down here and they've got all this space above them, and sometimes they're up here, and it's like, yep, it'd be nice to see a bit of forehead. And look who has just entered. It is the one and only. It is Mark. Thank you. One of the things I want to invest in, so I use this Stream Deck. It's a device that has all my, look, I can see how many people are in the chat at the moment, 7. This is the broadcast button or end. I can mute people. I can switch between the host and the guest. If I want it split screen, if I want share screen, the countdown, if I want to time out and be right back, or I have videos queued up. All of these icons I've designed. But something you get warned about if you're a live streamer is the small one is like 6 buttons. This is 12. No, it's not. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 15 buttons. And then there's an extra large, which I think has like 30, which is expensive. And they always say, don't go for the medium. You're going to need more buttons. And it's so true. I need way more buttons. So eventually it means I could have some of the sound effects on here, so I don't have to look at it down in the menu. But congrats to Jordan H, who was gifted the membership. Welcome. Yeah, you can be a grifter online. Or like Mark, you can be a gifter. And we love you for it. Thank you. And yes, they have released a new one with dials and a touchscreen. It's a cool gadget if that's what you want. Because of my audio interface, I don't need it. Although I am looking at the Rode, the Rode Podcaster Pro. But you know, these are expensive bits of gear. That one of the next things I'm going to be investing in is a new camera. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. So coming up on the show today marks exactly 10 years since my band Schemata Theory formed, and 10 years ago on this day we launched to the world our first music video, our first single, A Complex Slate, and our debut album, Dry Lung Rhetoric. So I've got some behind-the-scenes stuff to show you. Then I'm going to be talking about my new best friend that I can't wait to introduce you to. A bit shy and quiet at the moment, but I will be bringing my new best friend on camera. And then I was dealing with a scammer this week. Now, working in cybersecurity means I need to make sure I am extra careful. Sort of practice what I preach. It was very frustrating just because I wanted it to be a legit person and I suspected they weren't. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm sure you have your own scammer stories. And then finally, we're going to be talking about the main topic of the day. I'm not shy, Myles. Yeah, I know you guys aren't all shy. Yeah, happy 10 years of Schemata. Yeah, man, that band was a good time. It's weird talking about Schemata Theory in the past tense. But yeah, we're going to then be talking about Black Friday, yay or nay. Got quite a bit to talk about that. And then any deals. And then, of course, we end the show, as always, with the word game. There's going to be some new games we're going to play towards the end of the year, I think. But it requires me setting up my PlayStation 5 here. Although I have a PlayStation 4. And if I get my PlayStation 4 here, we could probably use that instead. I don't know. When I fix my studio up in the coming weeks, maybe I could have my PlayStation 4 here permanently, and it means we could do some party games like Jackbox, which can be a bit risky. But yeah. Sorry to hear Callie's not been well. Yeah, I've not been feeling great lately, to be honest. And my energy is really low tonight. But when I'm with you guys, you always boost me up, so I'm grateful for that. All right. First things first, Schemata Theory, my band. 10 years. It's been a long time coming. We actually did a post yesterday, because yesterday was like the day that we all got together to release it and announce it. And so actually, if I go onto screen share here, let's have a look here. Do I need to stretch it a little bit? Yeah, I do. And here we go. This was for our first music video. And this is some of the footage I'll show you in a minute. We were so young. It is remarkable just seeing how young we were 10 years ago. I mean, some of the photos and that, when we were in this aircraft hangar with this fire, it was just amazing. We were so dusty afterwards, and we had so many holes in our clothes. Dry Lung Rhetoric, the album cover. And then here is all of us at the end. Again, I mean, my hair is just ridiculous. Oh, here we go. I bet this is a joke. Is it a joke? I've just started up my own band. We are called the Duvets. We don't do any of our own music. We only do covers. Well done. Well done. That's a good one. 10 years ago. And it is lit. It's very well lit with all that fire going on, Mojo. Here's some behind the scenes. I'm just going to kind of skim through it, really. But this would have been 10 years ago last night, because at midnight was when we announced ourselves to the world. And we had the final version of our music video sent through. We hadn't seen it, so we were going to sit round and watch it together. And then once we watched it, we decided to make it go live. And here is what it looked like. Remember when Facebook looked like that? And this was just us getting ready. We had pizzas, we had champagne, didn't have enough glasses. Adverts are always at working out how we were gonna post it. Look at that. That was how Facebook used to look. Absolutely amazing.
What about the champers, Luke?
Right.
Some in the end.
Oh my god.
It's only at 480, so we've got to wait a bit for it to be better quality.
Should we wait for the full
Yeah, absolutely. We should be.
Alright, well, we've waited this long, I guess.
We still got to wait for me to open another bottle of champagne. So.
Hugh, have you drunk some already?
No.
Okay.
Whoa,
dude.
Whoa, soon.
So we were waiting. We had all our music up. Like, how different YouTube looked 10 years ago. And the others go the other way and just. Here we go.
You gotta wait at least until that go becomes a real glass.
Aww. Need a flake.
So what are we waiting for?
So we were waiting for the video to process it. It was better quality.
It's at 480p, which is worse than quality than one of my videos. And that's not what we paid for.
Do we do the cheers? I think we do a cheers. Yeah, we do a cheers here in a minute.
It's really got through.
God, it's just so.
Oh.
We do a cheers. This is it.
First or
Just drink.
Alright, let's cheers.
Oh, yeah.
To all the hard work. No matter
Fucking money.
yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here we go. This is the beginning.
Well done.
And then we watch the video.
Imagine
It's for the first time ever.
I could imagine that.
And then we get a pop-up ad. Yeah, and it's just video of us watching it all. And everyone was just like really amazed. And this was when my room had a mannequin in the back. Which is why it appears. This is the end. Yeah, it really isn't.
Wow.
Yeah, that's sick.
One lonesome clap. Well done, boys.
I think we should get this up.
I'm already up.
Well, and that's going in the behind the scenes. What?
Anyway, so it was cool to see. This will get a claim from our distributor for that song for sure. But yeah, happy times, and it is amazing when I just look at myself then, and I just realise how young I was, and I see my younger brother in myself there. It's interesting. But anyway, 10 years. It's been a long journey. We've still got one bit of content up and coming that we're really excited to show you. It's hopefully going to be ready before Christmas. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Next up, my new best friend. So, cost of living crisis. How many of you have turned your heating on already? Because I'm not talking about for hot water. hot water, I'd say, is separate, but who has turned on the heating in their home to actually heat their home, the central heating? Now, the thing is, there's only like a couple of rooms I need heating on during the day. One is the office here, because it's been getting really, really cold now. We're not at minus yet, but it's getting cold. The bathroom in the morning would be nice. But, yeah, just the last few days, yeah. Well, you can just, obviously, turn all the radiators so that only certain parts of the house, the radiators are getting heated with. But it's just so much hassle. And I went online and I ordered myself a space heater. It is super, super cute. And this is my new best friend now because it cost about £30, $35. And it rotates and that. It's really cute. It has obviously one of those things that it'll only when it's pressed on the ground. But I turned this on in this office for 5-10 minutes maybe. Oh my goodness, the difference. It warmed this room up so nicely. And then I turned it off, and then I didn't need to turn it back on for another 2 or 3 hours. And that was in the evening. And I was like, incredible. And hey, Nash, good to see you. How you doing? So I was really happy with this because I was just thinking, like, how good are these? Are these going to be a waste of energy? But I haven't had to turn on, the gas heater. Just plug it in, and I've run it. Oh, see, we talk about being a metal fan. This is a metal fan. And because it's called like a space heater, it sounds spacey. I like space. So, yeah, I got one of these. I highly recommend getting one, especially if you spend a lot of time working from home or if you're in just one room. I don't use this in my living room. I just have a blanket on when I'm downstairs. I use this a bit in my bedroom if it's really cold. But, yeah, like in the morning I might turn it on a little bit, so just getting out of bed's a little easier. And I just make sure that my office is extra toasty. The other reason I don't put it on in my living room is even when I have the central heating on in the past, as soon as I turn it off, the living room, you feel the cold quite quickly from the hallway. And, a lot of heat is to do with like change, the change you can feel. And so a part of me is like, nah, just keep the living room cold and then I'll be used to it. As soon as I start adding heat, I'll feel the cold even more. So those are super expensive to run, by the way, probably 1 kilowatt, so about 50p per hour to run, which makes sense. But if I'm only using it for 5-10 minutes, I think it's going to be a lot cheaper than putting on. Yeah, well, we'll see. Because I've got a smart meter, so I can compare it. Yeah, I think it could be better just putting it on for 5 or 10 minutes as opposed to putting on the central heating. But you might disagree with that. I don't know. You just check your smart meter, £8.58 for the day. Yeah, I need to check it. But yeah, the only thing I noticed is my fingers getting cold. A good thick fleece which insulates my body quite well. Yeah, I mean, look, wearing hoodies. I actually went out for a walk. Well, I go for a walk every lunchtime, but like, was it 2 days ago? I went for a walk at lunchtime. It was raining. Had this on, had my coat on top. And it was only when I got to Tesco's and I was in the fridge aisle, I was like, this is warmer than my house. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and wear your sandwich, definitely. I mean, if you're in an apartment and you're high up, a lot of the heat from below comes up to you, so that can be useful. So there you go, getting it all from there. I spend most of my time wearing a t-shirt, even still go out wearing one, not cold enough for a fleece yet. Yeah. Exactly, just a blast of it. But then, it all adds up. So I don't know. I could maybe do a test where I do a week using central heating and then I use a week using that. And then it might be an expensive experiment, but I could do one all the same. Right. Next up, selling equipment. What's that? Who trolled? Who trolled? I don't know. I'm lost. Anyway, next up, the scammer story. So, as a part of me getting ready for the cyber sales this week, and getting new equipment for my studio, I have a lot of equipment that I've had in my cupboard that I haven't been using, that are hangovers since the Quest for Global Empathy podcast when I had a studio in Reading. That includes this camera, which I'm going to be keeping until I get a new one. Oh, I see. Everyone thought my new best friend was a pet. Well, yeah, it's my little pet. I know. I as soon as I said it, I thought people were going to probably think that I had a pet. Well, it's a new best friend. A shy friend. A shy friend, I know. Probably sounded like more, yeah. Hey to Blizz, good to see you here. Good to see you here. So yeah, this camera I've got two others, and I bought them for like 800 quid each. I used it with grant money from YouTube, and I've had them since 2018. And so I'm trying to get rid of them. And then I've got 3 tripods for those cameras. And then I've got loads of other things. I've got like another one of these microphones, and I've got what's it called? What's the cases, like the metal cases called? Flight cases. So basically, I've calculated that I've got thousands of pounds worth of stuff. But the question is, where do you sell electrical equipment that you want to get rid of? Because at first I was thinking of, like, here in the UK we have CEX and things like that. But the problem is they give you an all right amount, but of in-store credit, where you then buy other second-hand stuff, or they give you cash, in which case they give you a lot less. So for these cameras, for example, they were offering me, I think, like 150, 200 pounds, whereas I've chosen Facebook Marketplace, and I'm getting a lot of offers coming in between 550, 600 pounds, because they're all in really, really good condition. But the problem that comes with Facebook Marketplace is you have to be smart with the people that you're dealing with, because on the first night I had a guy messaging me. I checked his profile, it was completely blank, and he was asking if I could post it to him, and he was like, can you make sure you don't sell it to anyone else? And then he started like adding kisses at the end of all his sentences, like the little X. And yeah, is CEX pronounced CEX? It is. Or is it sex? No, it's CEX. That's how everyone calls it. I don't know. Oh, you're on vacation and you're still here. Appreciate that, to Blizz. Where are you on vacation? I hope you're having a good time. So yeah, and then he was like, oh, you know, can you get back to me? And I was like, yeah, I'll get back to you. And he kept going, I just don't want you to sell it to anyone else. I was like, dude, I'll speak to you tomorrow. And then I woke up and he'd already sent me a message early in the morning with a kiss at the end. And so I just had to block him because I thought, this guy can't be legit. And then I found someone who seemed completely legit, who asked lots of questions, asked if it could be delivered. I said, you know, I'd rather have it for collection, but delivery's fine. And then I went to my parents to get it weighed and sort stuff out. You know, I spent a couple of hours. And then I had to work out how much a courier was going to cost. And so I was looking at a courier price. She gave me an address which was different to the one that the location she said she was at. But then she told me it was for a relative. So I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And often you get offered with Facebook Marketplace PayPal, which seems like a secure way of transferring money. But what I've been told is PayPal isn't good because people can like undo the payment and claim it back after they've received the goods, so you can get screwed over there. So the best way as a seller is a bank transfer, because that can't be undone. But the problem with that is the person buying, they've then got to trust you, and it all becomes quite difficult. So anyway, I said to her, okay, this is what it's going to cost, including the courier, and I can get it to you tomorrow. It'll come to like £675. She's like, that's fine. And I went, great. Here are my bank details. Transfer me the money. And she went, yeah. Or the other thing about PayPal Mojo is they take a cut, I think, of all transfers as well. And she says, oh yeah, you've got an email. Once you've sent proof of the courier and the tracking number, it will then clear the money. And it was via a website called Wise Transfer or something. I think they're just called Wise now. And so I checked my email, and I had this email. And do you know what? I might actually see if I can get the email up on screen, because I'm not going to get it on screen, but I will explain to you what the what the email was from if it loads. It's been quite slow at the moment. So I had this email. The subject was bank. No, sorry, it was called "You've got a notification payment from Wise Bank." And do you know what? I am actually going to show you a screenshot of this. Yeah, I'm just making sure there's no personal details on it. So this was the email I got. So hello Myles, and look at what the email address is: onlinebankactivity.int@gmail.com. And I was like, well, it would come from a Wise account. And basically they were saying the transfer on hold until postage tracking number is provided. So they said, is everything all right? And I said, well, this is a Gmail account. I don't think this is legit. And I said, however, I'm contacting Wise. And so I contacted Wise on Twitter and on email. And I said, hey, I've got this email from here. I don't think it's legit. I wanted to let you know. And they contacted me the next morning, went, thank you for letting us know. This is fraudulent. We would never ask for a tracking number to be emailed back to us to prove it, blah, blah, blah. So I went back to the lady. And I checked her profile now, and it was legit in terms of she had photos from like 6-7 years ago and longer. And so I said to her, because I didn't want to like just give her shit, but I said, hey, this is fraudulent. However, if you are if you've handed your money over to this bank as you say you have, I would speak to them because I think this is fraudulent. And yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying because a lot of people will fall for this because you just have to lose your focus. I'm like really desperate to get rid of this stuff. And so this stuff can happen. I had this cruel thing done to me, wrote a poem I was proud of and got tricked. I got a prize for it, realised it was a trickster, cruel people. Yeah, see? My dad texted me because my mum got a text saying, hey, it's Myles, my phone needs repairing, can you transfer me 600? She wasn't going to do it. My dad checked. But my dad said if I'd asked for, let's say, £50, I probably would have transferred. She would have transferred it without asking. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, there are a lot of cruel people out there. So, yeah, I'm still selling this stuff. Has anyone used Gumtree before? You have Craigslist in the US. Gumtree is what we have over here. I've never used Gumtree. I might use it tomorrow to set up, just because I'm sat on a lot of equipment that I need to get rid of, and I want people. I want them to go to loving homes. I've got a really good quality microphone. I've got some really good camcorders. I've got tripods. I've got all sorts of stuff. So yeah. I'd be interested to hear what you think of Gumtree. But yeah, that was my... You remember Gumtree. Heard it's not too bad, okay. But you've not used it. I might set it up because I think it's similar. Is Etsy... I thought Etsy was... I thought Etsy's more for like if you're selling products. So eBay's good, but they take a massive cut, don't they? But then again, it might be what I need to do. Yeah, Gumtree's local, but I'd rather have local. I'd rather have people that are up for collecting it, because then in person they can do the bank transfer and then I can hand it over. And And yeah, exactly. It's all about spotting it. But what we do in cybersecurity is we talk about the human risk that sometimes, you know, you're dealing with so many emails, you're in so many situations, there's social engineering. You can sometimes miss these things, and it happens to the best of us. Yeah, so Etsy's good, but I just assumed it was for, like, their own businesses. When you talk about Facebook selling sites, so I use Facebook Marketplace, that's what I'm using. eBay is so early 2000s. It's funny you say that because I haven't had an eBay account for way over 15 years. I remember I used to just buy stuff just so I could get my rating up. It was so pointless. Yeah, I think it's safe. So this is probably what I'll do. Yeah. Yeah, I would always say when you get pressured, when you get an email with links on them, just search the website. So like Wise Transfer, I didn't click on any of the links. I searched on the website. I had to sign up and I spoke to them. I had someone phone me up once claiming to be Virgin Media, saying they needed to update me on some policy stuff, and I went, great. And they went, okay, but before we proceed, we need to go through some security checks to make sure we can access your account. Is that all right? And I went, okay. And they started asking me the personal questions for like my password and address and stuff like that. And I said, wait, you called me. You should prove that you're Virgin Media. And they went, sorry, sir, that's not what we do. We're doing this as security checks. And I went, well, this is really poor policy on your part. And I hung up. And I think that could have been a scammer. Yeah. So I use Etsy. Etsy I love. I just saying I don't think it's really for selling secondhand stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone. I really appreciate that. Oh, you've been rung by him. Yeah. It's annoying. Yeah, this is it. People almost fall for it. I mean, these people are smart, you know, and one of the sad things about scams is, you know, when we talk about, oh, there's, you know, some prince from a faraway land asking for money, you're like, well, that's ridiculous. No one's going to fall for that. The reason that a lot of scams are made really clumsily is because if someone falls for that email, that means you're gullible and you're going to be easy to manipulate. Whereas if they try and make a convincing email and they fool someone, but someone who's still quite on it, you might get a bit further down the line trying to scam them and then you don't get anywhere. So by making the scam obvious, it means if they fall for it then, you've got more chance of exploiting them for money. It's this could be a whole topic. I have to get one of my colleagues to come on in future to talk about dealing with scammers. I think it could be a good one. So, yeah, I'm going to write that down for a future episode. Right, everyone, we should move on to the main topic today, which is Black Friday sales. We have a poll in the chat at the moment where I was asking you, and you know, I've actually been doing this poll on all the different platforms. On Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, here on YouTube. But I'm just going to close down the YouTube poll now. Scam text messages are very common, especially with, like, you know, vaccines or getting your cost of living payments, all this sort of stuff. I'm going to end the poll now. And with 20 votes, or 19, we've got 52% said yay and 47% said nay. So it's pretty close, actually. Pretty close. So I have mixed feelings about Black Friday, and my mixed feelings are to do with the fact that I think as a concept it's pretty grotesque because it is just about promoting consumerism, and consumerism is what promotes growth in economies, and for me that is cancerous in the grand scheme of things. It means that people end up buying stuff they don't need, and especially when everyone's ordering online. There was many reports over the years that, you know, there's more delivery vans on the road. Do we really need it? I know it's almost an EU referendum in its proportion, yeah, 52-48. So, when it comes to Black Friday, I have very, very mixed feelings. Mojo says, yeah, it's nice to get a good deal on something you might not have been able to afford, but yeah, Miles, I agree with you. I'm iffy on it. So for me, I'm going to break down the pros and cons of Black Friday, okay? So the pros are, and oh yeah, it could be. Yeah, we could be talking about Black Friday deals for sure. The pros are, number one is, and Karina has just mentioned something that I will be bringing up shortly, so I'm not going to bring what you've mentioned on chat because it's a really, really good point, and it is actually one of my slides. Black Friday is meaningless in the UK. What do you mean by that? Because it does happen in the UK. But obviously it's an American thing that started. But the pros are, number one, it fuels the economy, which I've just mentioned. There's a negative aspect to it, which is the way that our economy is structured. It's all based on growth and consuming. Secondly, it does create accelerated development of the logistics sector, like to get things from A to B in these very intense moments. I think is great. I think it's good. It's good for innovations in technology. But it's also a great opportunity to support small businesses. I don't know about you, but like on Instagram, I love finding like solo, sole traders, small businesses. I used to buy Positivity, which unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. I discovered them at a flotation tank center, and they made the most amazing. Oh, excuse me. The most amazing herbal teas, and I used to support them every year, and I absolutely loved it. So, in the UK, Thanksgiving happens after Black Friday, and it only exists for the shopkeepers who have done well in the sales. Yeah, we don't have Thanksgiving in the UK, correct? I hear that most shops make most of their profits over Christmas. Be interested to know what percentage Black Friday adds to it. Yeah, it's just to try and get you to buy Xmas stuff earlier and earlier. Yep, absolutely. I waited an entire year to get a camera for a reduced price. I assume you mean in Black Friday. Because, yeah, I've been waiting all year round for a lot of this tech that I've been wanting. I actually think it was the camera that I wanted, I found out last Black Friday, but I wasn't ready for it, so I've waited a full year for it. And, yeah, Etsy is really, really good to find. I mean, behind me, that Sonic the Hedgehog cartridges there, that was on Etsy. That was an Etsy thing. I've got a lot of things from Etsy, actually. Really, really, really cool. So yeah. But the other good thing is, which we've all mentioned in the chat already, is you can find great deals. Now, all of these plus points of Black Friday can also be negatives, unfortunately, because the first was fuels the economy. I've already mentioned. It's cancerous. We're just promoting consumerism. Secondly, it creates accelerated development of the logistics sector. That's a pro. Unfortunately, it's terrible for the environment. More delivery vans on the road, people returning stuff. I mean, people that buy loads of clothes online, try them on, and then send them back. I've always found that absolutely despicable. And I think it's due to a lack of education. And kind of like when we talk about empathy, it's always about with other human beings. But I think just for empathy with the planet and what you're doing to it with those things. You thought Black Friday was designed to coincide with the last payday before Christmas for those. Yeah, it pays monthly. Possibly that too as well. I'm sure there's all sorts of things coming into it. And the opportunity to support small businesses, I'd say there's not really a lot negative with that, other than big businesses obviously thrive as well. And then the last con I've got ties in with can find great deals. And the con is there's a lot of non-deals. Always write down the prices of things that you want before Black Friday, a month or two beforehand. And then when Black Friday comes, have a look at what the discounted price is. Because what some companies do is they put the prices up and then say, hey, we're doing a massive discount, 40% off. And actually, Could be just 10% less, which is still a discount. Or sometimes it's been discounted and it's actually what it normally was. So you should always, always be wary of that. So, with that said, I've got a few things I wanted to talk about and show you regarding Black Friday. Let's just say goodbye to this lovely, lovely photo of the band. These were some statistics I found on an article that was on trustedshops.com, and this was from 2001. Now, this is in France. And these go through the leading reasons for consumers to try a new online store during Black Fridays, and these are the reasonings. The top one is free shipping. If there's free shipping, that will attract people. And I have to say, I think that's something that always attracts me. I want to know that what I'm paying for includes shipping. There is nothing worse than buying something and then being like, and then they're going to slap you. I mean, on eBay, when I used to use it, I'm sure it's still the case now. You'd get something that is really, really cheap, but then the postage and packaging makes it more expensive than everything else. They must have got policies to prevent that now, but I remember that a lot. Number 2, great deals. Number 3, fast shipping. Okay, fast shipping is important. And by the way, one of the things I have bought is new disc plates. I've got 3 new disc plates for this studio that I can't wait to set up. So they will be arriving in the next week. So next week, you might not see them actually. You'll see one behind me there. I know the one I'm going to put on the wall behind me. I can't wait to show you it. It's really, really cool. Discounts on products that aren't discounted elsewhere. Okay, written user reviews might get you to. I mean, I always look at written user reviews, and when I look at written user reviews, I always look at recent, because sometimes there are ones that have got a lot of traction, but it's a couple of years ago. I look at the most recent ones. The brand matches my values at 15%. Hassle-free returns. To be honest, returns policy is not something I think about. And late deals after Black Friday. So there's some interesting stats. Oh, you asked me about displays earlier on. There we go. Well, I'll be showing you a bit on here actually. Goodenergy.co.uk, an article that was written by Jessica Bickley. She's done a really great piece that I'll actually link in the chat now for anyone that wants to check it out. Oh, do you know what? Can I delete that? It's a really horrible URL. Yeah, let me do that again. Try that. Really, really cool article that goes through, you know, the environmental impact of Black Friday, and in the context of the cost of living crisis, what the alternatives are. But this was the part I wanted to highlight, which was around 80% of items bought on Black Friday are thrown away after a few uses, some without being used at all. Now, I'd love to know where that stat is pulled from. In the US, waste increases by 25% between Black Friday and the New Year, I can imagine, while the majority of this waste comes from packaging. Okay, packaging is always going to be a huge thing. Some are unused items that were bought because of the allure of cheap products. There are a lot of people that go, oh, I need this. And then it turns out, nah. But yeah, a lot of them that are returned to company doesn't mean they're put back on sale, especially if businesses were clearing stock to make way for Christmas items. This then leads to more waste. So definitely agree with the symptoms. I'm just curious to know where those stats had come from. Yeah, it hasn't got any references here. Again, more stats. I'm going to drop her a line afterwards. Actually, it'd be good to get her to come on and have a chat. But yeah, alternatives to Black Friday. So Buy Nothing Day was mentioned by Callie earlier. So this is the same day as Black Friday, but some shops will close that day rather than offer large discounts. Green Friday. Green Friday promotes a focus on responsible shopping by buying from small local shops or second-hand items. I think that's good, and that's obviously what I'm promoting with all the gear I'm trying to get rid of. So hopefully people do buy from me. This is why I need to set up soon. I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow because I'm going to be out in London late. So I'm going to have to do it on Friday. And then Giving Tuesday. Typically the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. This year will be the 29th of November, which is dedicated to giving. This can be any form, such as donating food to food banks, giving money to charity, or spending time volunteering. I might give blood. I might go and give blood. That's just made me think about that, giving blood. And then it gives some examples of ethical brands doing different things. So Freitag, I'll just read one of these. Again, I've put the article in the description. Freitag wants to change Black Friday from a shopping day to a swapping day by closing all their online stores and running swap stores at locations around the world. Here people can exchange their old Freitag bags rather than buying new ones. That's really, really cool. And yeah, Cyber Monday happens. It's just for the full weekend, right? And yeah, Boxing Day, I've been told when it comes, they have better sales than that. Yes, help a hungry vampire. I know that during Halloween they have like Halloween themed giving blood things, which is really, really cool. Right, Karina mentioned earlier something, which I was going to mention here, which comes from money saving expert Martin Lewis, and I saw this a couple of weeks ago. Or should I say a couple of weeks ago? I think it was last week. It was on his Instagram, and this distills, I think, what a lot of us feel about Black Friday. And it says this: if you were going to buy it anyway, and it is half price, you've saved 50%. Okay, so if you were going to buy it anyway, and it's half price in the sale, you've saved yourself 50%. But if you weren't going to buy it, but do so because it's half price, you've wasted 100%. So I think that is a really important point, that when it comes to Black Friday, you should already have a list of the things that you want. Now, it's not to say there aren't going to be things. So, for example, I will be doing Christmas shopping at Black Friday, and I will be looking on Etsy and, you know, doing all sorts of shopping. And there might be things that come up that go, and actually I'll give you an example in a moment. Things I wasn't considering and I did get because it was a good deal. And I thought that could be a lovely gift. But I think this is just a really, really good ethos to have. If you were going to buy it anyway and it is half price, you've saved 50%. But if you weren't going to buy it, but you do so because it's half price, you've wasted 100%. So, yeah, really, really, really great. So, with that said, everyone, I would love to hear about... Well, exactly. That is true. It's not 100% wasted if you use it. I do think that last part could be tweaked. But yeah. If you don't use it within 3 months, you don't buy it. Yeah. So, although I know some people that are looking in the sale for air conditioning units, they're not going to be using them until the summer, but it's going to be a lot cheaper now than waiting for the summer anyway. But yeah, so planning ahead. Because it's the thing about, like, consumerism is bad when it's all about instant gratification. It's just like, I need to consume, I need more. I mean, here's a great tip. I'm sure many of you relate to this. Never do your food shopping when you're hungry. Man, it is one hell of a different experience if you do that. So yeah, never do your food shopping when you're hungry. So the answer to this question, there might not be many things in the chat, but please do say, type Black Friday in capital letters and then the link to a website or something that you found. Yes, Black Friday, Emily says, is the day that you get charged what the actual fair price should have been all along. Absolutely. And consume or be consumed. Well, I'm gonna give one recommendation today. But before I do, I'm actually going to talk about Displate. So Displate, they have sales all year round. And normally the top sale they do is like 35% off. And so I wait until it's at that 35%. But for Black Friday, if you buy 3 or 4, 5 plus, you get 41%. I got 37% because I bought 3. And Displates are these big metal. They're not cheap. They're not cheap, but they are really great quality. And I'm going to actually show you one of the ones that I bought. I'm just searching. I think this is going to come up with it. yeah, this is what I've got, and this is what's going to appear behind me, on that wall here. On that wall here is going to be this design. What do you think of it? And I did check online to make sure it was a direct quote. It didn't say something like Myles is a knob or something like that. So yeah. And I love the stuff when they have the sort of texture, because it always comes across really great on the print. But yeah, that is going to be in the background. Love. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I've always wanted to go to Japan as well, so it's got a very personal touch for me. And what I love is when you do these, you know, that's just medium. I'm getting the large like that, but you can also get extra large where it's like 4, but I don't really like that. So yeah, that's one of the ones I'm going to get. And then I've got 2 gaming, like popular culture ones that are going to be to my right, which will be really, really nice. So yeah, Display. I really recommend Display. And they always say that every time they sell one, they plant... And they say returns within 100 days. Wow. I mean, that'd be a tough thing to return. They say they plant a tree every time one is ordered, but I don't know if they do that anymore. Because they've literally sold millions of these. But the posters are really, really cool. Can I get the Myles is a knob one? Maybe I should create that. Yeah. Anyway, so that's Display. The other deal I found was, has anyone heard of Blinkist? So Blinkist is a website, is an app that has over 5,500 non-fiction titles. So there's a lot around self-help, a lot about time management, a lot about philosophy and mindfulness, mental health. They say it's from 27 categories, and you can either read them or listen to them on the web or on a mobile app. Now, I bought this. I got a discount. I think it was like £40 for the year, which is about like $45. And every day I went for a walk during the pandemic, it was nice just listening to one non-fiction book that is summarized in 15 minutes. And then you can make notes, you can recommend it to others. And if there's one that you really enjoy, you can go out and, you know, get the full book. £40 was like a bargain. So normally now it's £60. They have this deal, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat now. By the way, I don't take sponsorship when I talk about stuff. It's because I love it, and if I ever did get sponsored, I would definitely mention it. Let me get the link so it works for you all. But for £14.99, you get a year, and you can cancel it straight away, so it doesn't auto-correct. So for just £15, which is like what, $17? Let me put it in the chat now so you get it. You get access for a year, and not only that, the bottom here says 2 for 1. Get a second premium account to share for free. So me and a colleague at work, I've paid £15 for it, and once I signed into the app, I got a link that I could give to her. She has access, and we actually are now connected on the app, so we can recommend to each other like titles that we found that have been really, really helpful. So yeah, it's a Reader's Digest. But yeah, it's a Reader's Digest. And as I said, it will not substitute reading the full books. But every day I go for a walk, the fact that I can dive into another book, I found it to be a very wonderful experience. I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I put the link in the chat. If you go to it, it should give you this offer. Again, I'm not paid by them. This isn't a referral code. This is just something I found. Yeah. It's also got a 7-day trial. So sign up for it, and if you find you'll know within a week if it's not for you. But for me personally, I stopped using it for about a year because I started going for walks with other people. But normally when I go for walks by myself, this is a nice time for reflection. So yeah, and there's a lot of ones here. Sapiens and Atomic Habits are 2 books that I've always wanted to read. So yeah. Canuck tunes. everyone's still talking about Japan, which is amazing. I'd love to get to Tokyo one day. So with that said, if you have any great deals that you found, please do put them in the comments section of this video. That is it for today's show. We spoke all about Black Friday. Is it a yay or is it a nay? Most people seem to be leaning towards yay, but I think we all agree on actually what the problems are with it. And that actually, if you engage with it from a place of planning where you're looking for deals on things that you are already wanting or needing, that can be really can be a great experience. And that's exactly how I plan to engage with Black Friday this weekend, because I'm going to be getting new equipment for my studio, including a new camera, which will hopefully take this from 1080p to 4K, which would be nice. So, you never sit and read books, you just watch the film instead. Well, that works. But then I think this could be good because it's audio. You don't have to read it. You have people read them towards you. So, yeah. And to Blizz, who's on vacation, I've got to go, guys. My family is probably wondering where I am. Have a great, great time, to Blizz, hidden in my room watching the live show. Love you for it, buddy. So, yeah, do hit the like button if you haven't already. And on that note, everybody, it's time for the word game. We ready for the word game? We ready for the word game, everybody? I think we are. Let's set this up. Are they going to charge for 4K? To be honest, the camera can do 4K. I probably won't be streaming in 4K. It'll be better quality than it is now. Here we go, people. You know what to do. And if you don't know what to do, you want to be guessing in the chat of what words you can make out of what's on screen. And don't use a rude word. 1090p, yeah. Lucent, Mark with Lucent, well done. You know, the only word left could be that. It's not going to be that. But it would actually fit in between those last words. I don't know. That's a word. Begins with C. Or you. Cult, of course. Right, you got one left, and it's going to be unlet. Never knew of that word. Well done, well done, well done. We did so well that we skipped 3 levels. We're on to level 4. Danger, I thought would be the word. Garland. Well done. What does everyone make of my new setup with my camera being eye level? Much better now, right?
I know I'm not the easiest to love.
Well done.
I thought I would at least be worth a shot. Instead you gave up on
A lot of big words on this one. that going to be 2 stars or 3 stars? Let's find out. Especially, oh, you think pushed us over the line there. 3 stars. Off we go. To level 7.
I know I jump into things too fast.
Let's turn the music up a bit.
I thought I could trust you right off the bat.
Now there's a fake letter here, so be careful.
Instead you turn my vulnerability against me and tore apart the heart from my sleeve. Did you even love me in the first place? In the first place?
And if you like any of this music,
Every day we wouldn't be in this place.
check out Myles Dyer Live on Spotify. The full playlist is there. Links in the description.
Did you even love me in the first place? In the first place? In the first place?
Flavour. So G is the fake letter. Do not use G.
In the first place?
One thing I'm looking forward to getting is a second monitor. Hopefully here. It would be perfect here. And then I could...
Did you even love me in the first place? In the
Oh, that'd be amazing to have a second monitor. It'd make live streaming a lot easier. Huge shout out to anyone who's joined and decided to play along. Really appreciate it, because the more of us that play it, the better. I reckon this is going to be a 2-star attempt. This has been difficult. Man. Oh, just 1 level. Mark is approaching 100 points. Another fake letter. There's not many here. Expand. Well done. So G is the fake letter. Does it use move controllers? Xenomorph. That tickled me. That tickled me a lot. Right. Begins with N or P. Last one. Neat. Well done. Well done. 3 stars. Mark, you have cleared 100. Well done. More like. Let's keep going.
Through all of this, you told me that you loved me so much, but now we're here, and I can barely breathe.
Goat and Toga.
Inside my head, I pulled apart all the pieces to only see I've always wanted wanted you. So let's take this time to feel it all, no lies. 'Cause if we don't, the fight
H is the fake
will
letter.
eat the life. Stuck in self-destruct, and we can't wake
I put holds.
up. Don't wanna give it away.
I was typing something else.
Can't make me
H.
give it away. Don't eat the
This is great. Everyone, you're doing really well. We've got a strong team today.
And every day feels like a bad day. My biggest fear
We just need one to beginning with A
is
now.
you walk
Or
away.
C.
The battle's here, and I'm standing in the fire. So take my hand, and we will stay alive. So let's take
That's got to be 3 stars. No, 2.
to feel it all, no lies.
Still good.
'Cause if we don't, the fight will eat the life. Stuck in self-destruct, and
such
we
a tune.
can't wake up. Don't wanna give it away.
Yay!
Can't make me give it away. Don't eat the life.
Good to see you, Max. And you got a lovely new photo. I like it. Is that one of Becca's photos?
Don't eat the life.
Max, we were talking about Black Friday deals. Has Coven got any Black Friday deals going on? Missing letter is N. Well done. Yeah. G is the fake letter again, yeah? And what was it?
Nobody said it'd be easy, but we took a train to the ceiling. And I'm high on all of my feelings.
Wow, we are struggling this
Don't wake
time.
me up from the stream. I bought a one-way ticket to space. Let's get out of here. I hurt you, but it's nice this time of year. Out in the wild, find a eating. Let's
Wow.
stay a while, never leaving. Send me alone in my heart. We're taking off. Send me alone.
That is exactly what we were talking about, Max. That's exactly what we were talking about. That you got to note down what the price is way before Black Friday. It's all about planning. Like, you can have a good time at Black Friday, but you have to know what you want beforehand. I'm getting a lot of new equipment for the studio. Well, I want to give a shout out to Mark. Get 100. Over 100. That's the thing about this game, is you can do really well and then the rug gets pulled under last moment with a really tough round like that. But it's the way it goes. Anyway, I just want to say a huge thank you everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, please do hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to be updated with all future live shows. And if you can, join, become a member. We'd love you to become a part of the official tribe with the little globe icon next to your name. I was talking last week about I want to get a mailing list set up. That is one of my many plans for the future, but every week there's just something new happening that I'm focusing on, small steps, and really, really excited for all the weeks that come. So, you feel ruined then. Don't feel ruined. Don't feel ruined. I want to say a huge thank you for everyone tuning in. I'm just really, really excited. Next week is going to be the last Wednesday of the month. So we've had 5 Wednesdays this month. It's going to be the 30th. I just want to check this to make sure I haven't got it wrong. The 30th is next Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Which means it's a Q&A. It's a free-for-all. So if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to go through, bring them along. And, it'd be good. All right. That is it from me. I felt like there was one more thing I was going to say, and it's not coming to mind. Yeah, if you find any cool Black Friday deals, let us know in the comment section below. And yeah, and as Max says, if you missed it live, you come in at the end, you can always watch this on replay. Always really, really important. So yeah, and seeing the back of November. Yeah, November's been I know it's been a very difficult month for many, many people, myself included. And the truth is, do you know what? It's like when it comes to like New Year's resolutions. On the one hand, I'm like, New Year's resolutions, complete bullshit. If you want to make change, you can start today if you want. However, you also have to acknowledge that there is this sense of momentum. There is this goodness that can come from, I love this, a £20 bottle of Bailey's, £13. Bargain. If you were going to be getting that Bailey's anyway, then get it. But yeah, but there is a sense of momentum when, you do say, oh, it's a new month, I can start again. Like, do embrace that if that does give you momentum. I don't think you should, just because on the one hand you could say it's bullshit, you can start anytime. The truth is, it can also be the boost that you need. So whatever works for you. Because at the end of the day, quote from one of my all-time favourite songs, or one of my all-time favourite lyrics, we're just rehearsing who we think we are. That is the human condition. We are constantly rehearsing who we think we are. It's all about playing mind games with yourself to get over those next hurdles. But by communicating, sharing experiences, we can learn off each other and make our lives and wider communities better off as a result. So on that note, you mentioned hot chocolate, man. I've bought some hot chocolate. When it gets cold in the evenings, have a banana and some hot chocolate. An absolute treat. But for now, I'm just going to say goodbye with my little friend. My new little buddy. Love him so much. And maybe we should decide what we should call it. I should come up with a name. But yeah, do you know what? I'm actually going to leave you with a question. Obviously, you can leave your final thoughts during the credits. But suggest your names for the space heater. What should we call the space heater? No, I haven't named it yet. But that is where you come in. So have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Adios.
You on the road, I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness
Man, that is the perfect length song, isn't it? The song, it's considering we've played it so many times, I love it still, and it's a really good outro song. Jay Cosmic, I am going to reach out to him because when we do the 100th episode, it would be great to have him on and just say, hey, can I interview you for this show where you're on the credits and the promos and you've never known about it. I have to say, all these names have been absolutely brilliant. I mean, Heaty McHeatface. Kelvin's great. Obviously inspired by Max's Kevin. Toasty. I think Toasty for me was a good one. Heat 2D2. Oh man, hot stuff. Lucas and lukewarm. I mean, no, you want him to be better than that. Watson, yeah, maybe. Only 29 episodes to go. Well, I've actually got it written down when episode 100 will be, and it's a few months away yet. But by then the show. I mean, if I just show you now where the show was when it first started. Check this out. When my lighting was absolutely abysmal. Actually, I didn't even have numbers, did I? But it was like middle of the year, yeah. Let's have a look. Here we go. Going. Oh, see, you've already counted it. This is good. Right. It's not going to let me look at the list. Surely it's going to let me look at the list. There it is. Nope. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find it, this list. YouTube's changed it now. I just want to look at the playlist. There we go. Callie's an alright name. Here we go. Oh, wow. There are some things on here that should not be on this playlist. That's interesting. I'll have to change that at the end. So, yeah, look. This is one of the first ones. Look how dark. This was like one of the first ones I ever did. On what date was it? July 14th last year. About this aspect. Look at that. Let me know. And I just want to say, any of you notice any of yourselves in the chat? From California. I've actually poured myself a G&T. I've not been drinking a lot. But yeah, it's amazing how far it's come. I mean, I was doing it with my stood up. Palpitation stuff is it tends to be when I'm in bed, and something that really helped me sleep. Yeah, it's look, can see some familiar faces in the chat. And so he created a island in the game that you could get. Yeah, it's amazing how things improve over time, and I'm constantly learning. And you know, this is going to look. I know Mojo in the chat. Things are gonna, you know. The truth is, when it comes to doing a good live show, people that front load it with all the best tech, it's gonna get you so far, but not all the way. If you build things up with formatting and you know the way that you do it, yeah. As I said, I've moved it down now, so I'm eye level with it, and it works a lot better now. I do want to get a second monitor that is just here. Do you actually want to see a bit of the setup of my studio? Because I actually made a video where I was talking through it. Let me show you this. Oh, don't go. Yeah, look. So this is... Actually, let me quickly switch to the VT. 10 years ago today. Yeah, oh yeah, you missed all this, Max. I know you're going to watch it on replay, but this was when our album came out 10 years ago today. And we looked so fresh-faced. And we watched our music video for the first time. But anyway, this is my studio. So this is what it looks like. So, yeah, as you can see, I have the 2 lights. Got quite a lot. You can see where my camera is now. Yeah. That's all my setup. But I'm thinking of getting a second monitor, and the second monitor will go to the left of the camera. I was thinking it might go on the right, but because of where I'm sat, it would be good to have a second monitor here, so it's kind of like arched round. I think that could be excellent. Yeah. So I was just talking about where it all plugs in and stuff. Yeah, there's my Stream Deck, and then obviously you've got all my stuff at the back there. And that's where all my disc plates are going to go, on that gap there, and obviously on the back there. But yeah, that is the studio format. I can't just yank this off. I mean, I could do, but I've got it in a nice area. Yeah, I like teal just a little bit. But anyway, guys, I gotta go get some sleep because I'm working in London tomorrow. I'm too exhausted to go into London, but it's got to happen. I need to get out. I'm forcing myself to get out at least once a week just because it's good for your head, and I need that at the moment. So, hope you all have a wonderful evening. Tune in on Friday's show for PSVR Without Parole on the PSVR Without Parole channel. It's always a good time. And for those of you game cats that have come over from there to this, I really appreciate you for doing so. And for all of you that join me every week, I love you. I enjoy doing this. And yeah, as I keep saying, good things or better things to come because they're good already, right? And there's lots and lots planned as we head towards the new year. So on that note, for one last time, love, respect, empathy. Adios. Till next time, and stay warm.